President Trump taking military action against Syria after years of what he calls failed attempts to change President Assad's behavior. Joining us now, nationally syndicated radio talk show host Dana Loesch and best-selling author Joel Rosenberg, who was at the White House this week for the meetings with Egypt's president. We're going to start with Joel because I want to talk about, you're somebody who knows this region better than anyone else I know. You live in the region. What does this now do with the strikes on Syria?
Yeah. Well, first of all, it wasn't at the White House. It was a private meeting with El-Sisi. But separately, yeah, this is a huge moment for the president because you cannot allow, as a superpower, you cannot allow terrorist state to use weapons of mass destruction to kill children or anybody. But, you know, and so you have a situation in which the world's only superpower has been AWOL for the last 8 years. We drew a red line on chemical weapons and we bailed. And so the president has to reassert American authority, but this has to be the beginning of a process. It's not clear that he has a strategy or a set of goals yet. He needs to develop them and start a systematic process in Syria.
Can you give us a sense of how the Syrian people and people in the region are feeling? There's so many outside actors with the Russians, the Iranians, and the U.S. being involved there.
You could sum this up in one word: suffering. The people of Syria they're being slaughtered by Assad with Putin's assistance, with Iran's assistance. Slaughter. I mean, we're talking about 500,000 people dead. Millions upon millions are running for their lives. Yeah, we live in Israel, and it's surreal. We've got a border with a genocidal country. But the rest of the neighbors are deeply concerned. King Abdullah, of course, was just here in Washington. He has been calling for the removal of Assad. President El-Sisi was interesting because he has not called for the removal of Assad, but he clearly wants to work with the president. That's what he told us in this meeting. And he said, you know, I want to work against radical Islamic terrorism, and we need a strong Egyptian and Sunni alliance against these type of threats.
All right, I want to bring in Dana now as well. I mean, politically, Dana, where do you think this has the greatest impact? This president appears rather decisive when it counts.
And I think, Shannon, that is the big takeaway with this. And I think even some of Trump's detractors were actually really surprised last night by the swiftness of this action. And I think it does show a level of decisiveness that we have not seen in these past 8 years. It shows that Trump is willing to enforce Obama's red line. Remember, Obama drew that red line in the sand, and then nothing much came of that. And I think it is amazing optics that he's down at Mar-a-Lago, and he was having dinner with Xi Jinping, and all of this was taking place, and then he bids him good night, and then this is everything that's happening the rest of the evening and this morning. So it shows that he can multitask, but really he's enforcing Obama's red line here. Now, I know that Congress is going to go and debate whether or not they're going to need to, you know, have an authorization to continue further, although everything that we've been hearing, I know, Shannon, you spoke with Ambassador John Bolton earlier, who said that this was a one-off, it's a pinprick, this is designed to send a message, and really not just to Assad, also to Russia, also to North Korea, also to a lot of these other players who thought that they would have been able to skate by these past 8 years. Well, it shows now that there is someone new in the White House. The Obama era of foreign policy is over, and I think that a lot of people in the United States are quite pleased with that.
All right, Dana Loesch, thank you very much. And Joel, by the way, your latest trilogy of books, the latest is Without Warning. If folks want to understand this region better, they'll
Syrian
enjoy those
chemical
books.
weapons. It's just uncanny, but scary.
All right, Joel, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bill.